In a different segment, we talked about sort of a macroeconomics. We talked about how the legal community is dealing with and knows that they are involved in tough times in our economy. Today, I'd like to take a look at the micro perspective. In other words, what are individual lawyers and individual law firms facing, and how we know that they've got some difficulties, and as a conclusion, what they can do to actually improve themselves. The first piece of evidence that I look at is your client list. In other words, when you look at your client list and the revenue brought in by all your clients, do you have a dependence on any one client for more than 10% of your revenue? If you have one client or one practice area even that is more than 10% of your total revenue, you are at risk. If anything happens to that client, then you suffer some significant economic consequences. A second area where we know that there's some financial difficulty either being experienced or pretty close on the horizon is when your accounts receivable aging gets older. In other words, people are slowing down in how they pay you. Your accounts receivable are getting older. And unlike good wine, old accounts receivable do not get better. A third area here that we can look to is when your accounts payable are getting older. In other words, you're stretching out who you pay and how much you pay of the debt that you owe as a result of your normal operations. Now, you cannot do that, for example, with your payroll. You cannot do that with your landlord, but with many others you can. And when you look at your aging of your accounts payable, if that's getting older and older and older, that's a sign of some financial difficulty. Many law firms and lawyers then will look to their bank to increase their borrowing. That's another sign of some financial weakness. These are issues that I think you have to deal with, and there are a number of ways that I would suggest that you look at these. First, think of the business as an investment. Let me rephrase that because I came to the conclusion too quickly. I said, think of your business, and what I really mean to say is think of your practice as a business. And when you're running the business, it seems to me that you have to watch out how much money you take out. The owners of the business need to take money out of the business last. Everybody else has to get paid first. What's left over is what you earn. That's the profit. That's why you're the equity partner in this law firm, to reap the rewards. Well, sometimes there aren't as high a reward as we'd like, but you need to keep that in mind because this is an ongoing business and you're not here for the short run. That brings me to the next step. Invest in technology. Make sure that you are doing what you're doing for your clients, in other words, the delivery of legal services, as effectively and as efficiently as you can. Computers, software, all sorts of technology help us improve how we deliver our services and enable us to deliver them more profitably. So invest in the technology. And third, invest in your people. Make sure, as I've said on a number of occasions, that you offer them the best education possible to enhance the skills they already have, to help them help you become more efficient. By doing all of that, you will be able to glide through our economic crisis that we're facing today. In other words, you'll be able not only just to survive, but you'll be able to thrive and come out far stronger at the end. Thanks for joining us today.